one of the other 33 plus 34 is 67, tied to the 19th prime, going right back to the sun. 19th card in the tarot is the sun card. So when you get into the alchemy now, folks, of the angel demon being 42, you now have chlorine being 17 tied to angel, and demon being 25 tied to manganese. And I showed how this is tied to the reincarnation process in my angel falls. And when you do the alchemy of these, clearly you can see what you get. 89. What's 89? Yaldabaoth. 89 reduced down is 17. 17 is the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh. 17 reduced down is the number 8, which is part of the hourglass, the torus fields. Get into physics and sacred geometry. Scrape away all the stories that we've bolted on to all this stuff. Simplify your life and you'll see what you end up coming down with. It's right there through alchemy. You go right back to Yaldabaoth again. So again, angel and demon, 17 and 25, chlorine and manganese. When you add those two up and alchemize them, you get 89. It's a direct match to Jesus and Thomas doing their alchemology. 89. I mean, these two examples strengthen the story that it is Yaldabaoth who is behind all of this creation. Clearly, to me, that's the way it looks. And that's where, you get Saturn in there, you get the Lion of Judah, because Yaldabaoth's known as the lion with the worm's body, tied to the octopus, tied to the spider card. Spider and octopus, they're all in the same building together, working together. They're just the wardrobe. And it can get confusing. When you divide the two, angel and demon, of course, good versus evil. When you divide the two, you get 0.63. 63 is found in this element called copper. Copper is protons. 29. What's 29? Yaldabaoth. So again, addition, division, angel, demon, Yaldabaoth. 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 Jesus Thomas, Yaldabaoth. It's becoming a monotonous story now, ladies and gentlemen. And we know in Kabbalah, the pillars, Boaz and Yachin, what were they made of? Copper. Go check out my decode on Boaz and Yachin. Copper. Copper equals 33 in numerology, by the way. Just the same as Boaz and Yachin. Coincidence? Not a chance. So there's angel and demon. Life, the universe, everything. Angels and demons. So what we both are, ladies and gentlemen, we're made up of both. We're all fallen angels. I decided to look into the cards of illumination because we're talking about the number 42. So the 42nd day on the calendar, February 11th. Happy birthday, Kevin. It's the Ace Spades card. And the Ace Spades is the 40th card in the deck, tied to Yaldabaoth again, Zirconium, 89. But, then I'm like, okay, well, 42 is tied to the 40th card. Where's 42 found in the layers of math? Well, the 181 is the 42nd prime number. So again, I'm like, okay, well, what's the 181st day of the year? What card is that? Tied to the King Hearts, card number 13. You take 13 plus 40 and you get 53. 53 goes right back to that iodine, one half of the I am that I am. So you can clearly see, folks, when you synchronize and you embed all these layers together, they start to tell you the truth. And Yaldabaoth keeps showing up over and over. So let's get into some sports now. And if you're not a fan of sports, I'm going to leave the timestamps in the description of this video. You can just skip right to number 5 if you want to, or skip ahead and whatever. I'm going to leave all the timestamps. But let's get into baseball's 42. So I want to show you man's being used. This is all part of the software and the script. There is no separation. And here's the guy that made the number 42 famous in the world of baseball. Jackie Robinson. His real name, which I find is really funny because there's the Jack. There's the Jack in the box. It's Jack Roosevelt Robinson. That was his real birth name. And notice his birth to death. He was born on January 31st, 1919. 19 is the sun card. And he died October 24th, 1972. Here are the two cards. January 31st. Let me be really transparent. Let me take you to that. So here's the boilerplate chart for the cards of illumination. And here is the 12 months running horizontally and then, or vertically, horizontally, and then the days of the year run vertically. But here is January going all the way down to the 31st. It's the 9 clubs card. So that's Jackie Robinson's birth. And then his death was October 24th. So let me show you that, being really transparent. Here's the month of October going all the way down to the 24th. And there it is, the Jack Hearts card. So he has the 9 clubs and the Jack Hearts card. The 9 clubs is the 22nd card in the deck. Let me show you that real quick. Now, I want to just digress and say, if any of you want these graphics, if you watch my decode on how to decode your name through Francis Bacon, I forgot to mention, you're going to need these graphics to figure out what cards you are. If you want these graphics, just send me an email, and I've sent them to thousands of people. Just send me an email. My email is decodeyourreality@gmail.com, and I'll send them to you. So here's Jackie Robinson's birth card. Card number 22, the 9 clubs, and then his death on October 24th is the Jack Hearts card, card number 11. So when you add the two up, card number 22 and card number 11, and then get out your calculators, you get the number 33. Now, you know what some people are going to say? It's the Masons. There it is. Oh, it's Masonic now. Now it's... Yep, it's the Masons. They made Jackie Robinson's mom have his birth on January 31st. They induced it because they had to have him have the 22nd card. Now, I can see maybe them killing somebody, but not forcing a birth. And then what would the purpose be? And you know what people are going to say? It was a ritual. Folks, I understand and I realize some of those things happen, but I'm going to prove to you that this guy's life was owned and operated by the architect, not man. So get the whole Masonic garbage, propaganda, mind control things out of your life. Expand. Because when you see this number, it doesn't mean it's Masonic. It's the number 8 anyway. It's not even 33. Tied to Scorpio, the eagle. But nonetheless, it's right there, folks. His birth to death card, 33. 42, that's the number he wore. And his name's Jack, the Jack in the box. Jackie Robinson, when you do his name through Francis Bacon, and I showed how to do that. If you're new to this, you're just going to take whatever your total outcome is. And Francis Bacon is very special because it uses the numbers 1 through 26 for the lowercase, 27 through 52 for the uppercase. And of course, typically we all capitalize our first letter of each word properly. And he has a 340. And what you do is you subtract 52 until you get to 52 or below. And Jackie Robinson ends up becoming the number 28. And look at what 28 ends up landing on in the string of pi. Coincidence? Matching his birth to death. So you can clearly see, folks, to have a conspiracy in front of you to make this guy be born and then take him out, and then you have to have it shown this way, is absolutely ludicrous thinking. It's actually very irresponsible to think that man could be coding this, and you think man's coding this. They're not. Let me just keep going and show you some more. Just to tack on more layers. Jackie Robinson was born in Cairo, Georgia. He died in Stamford, Connecticut. Here are the two cities. Equals the number 47. I mean, he dies in Stamford, that's 33. Matching his birth to death cards. But it's 47. This is what was running his life. Not any secret society. It's the architect coming down here to become man and experience what it's like to become man and woman. Play its own game. Here's more proof in the pudding, folks. I don't know how you can. I don't know how else you can wrap your mind around what I'm going to show you right now. The distance between, this is called distancebetween.com, distance-between.com, I think is the website. But the distance between his birth city of Cairo and his death city of Stamford. Let me zoom in. 900, a straight line, 920.57 miles. Look at where the 920 appears in the string of pi, folks. It occupies 3 digits. Count along with me now. 328, 329, and 330. There's the 33 again. Now, do you think man is consciously doing this? Because they knew it was 920 miles away, and they knew in the string of pi it would be ending at the 330, and it's a match to where he died in Stamford, and it's a match to his birth to death card being 33. Folks, it's ludicrous thinking. Man is not coding this. Man is being used to fulfill the script called life. More 33. I mean, folks, look how many layers of 33 we find. It's not, it has nothing to do with the Masons. Nothing. Let's keep going. I got more to show you. Hello. Here's the house Jackie Robinson grew up in. Here's the full address through numerology, spelling all the words out, not abbreviating anything. You should be doing this with your own house that you grew up in. Find another piece of your code. What do you see there, folks? Another 33. Now, did the Masons pick his house out? Where he grew up at? Or do you think the more logical answer is the guy was being used by the architect? Whatever that looks like. That's the more logical answer. Here, let me show you. What is it? How about in Chaldean? 137. What's 137, ladies and gentlemen, using numberempire.com? It's the 33rd prime number. So no matter which way you slice it, and no matter which way you dice it, you can clearly see the Chaldean's going to lead to the 33, the angle of light, telling you from the sun, the boss. He's a little puppet on strings, playing out baseball. Or it's the 33 through the English. Or it's the 33 in the distance between his birth to death city. Or it's the 33 in the string of pi from his name through the Francis Bacon. Or it's the 33 from his birth to death card. Folks, you can clearly see this has nothing to do with mankind. It's actually very disrespectful to whatever created this reality, and it can go so many different ways. But let's give credit where credit's due. We did not create this reality. We didn't code this reality. We're just following our script. This is a perfect example of a guy being used, again, to add on to so many countless layers I've shown now. I mean, what year did Jackie Robinson make history? By becoming the first African-American baseball player in the major leagues? 1947. That's why it was in 1947. Because it's this that's running this guy, not man. When Jackie Robinson passed on, he passed on at 7:10 a.m. He was 53. Of course, 53 is iodine, but when you do the alchemy of 7 and 10, there it is, nitrogen and neon, and you add them up using the trusty calculator, I mean, it just gets monotonous now. There it is again. And the guy wore the number 42. Life, the universe, everything. 42. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 is the first perfect number. 6 days of creation. The zodiac sign Virgo, the virgin. Jesus was born of a virgin. You see how all these stories synchronize? They're all part of the script, and there's no separation. Some may just be a little bit farther on down the line, but they're all going to lead back to the same origin. We're all part of the script. He was 53 when he passed on. Iodine. I am. I showed iodine's right to the 47, the tetragrammaton. It's right there. I am that I am. Of course, it's the architect coming down here and becoming man. Changing baseball. The game changer. Of course, who do you think is going to do that? The architect's going to do that. Controlling the strings from above. So let's get into the fifth topic. Why the number 42? Why 42? Well, let's get right into the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Douglas Adams. And here is Douglas Adams, and I thought this was absolutely fascinating, so I pulled it. And Douglas Adams, if you read with me, it says, Douglas Adams was asked many times why he chose the number 42. Many theories were proposed, including that a 42 is a 10-10-10 in the binary code. That's going to lead to the number 30. That's going to lead to the word demiurge, Jehovah, and Nazareth, and Santa Claus, and all those. It's going to. They said it's how about the light refracting by 42 degrees to create a rainbow, 42 over the pyramids, protons, and Douglas Adams, he rejected them all. And according to his website, he said the answer is very simple. It was a joke. No, it wasn't a joke because Douglas Adams was being used. So to him, it was a joke. To him, it would just popped into his head because this is what he said. He said, I sat at my desk, stared into the garden, and thought 42 will do, and I typed it out. End of story. That's why he chose the number. According to what he says. Now, is he telling you the truth? That's up to you to make the truth your own. But you see, the proof's in the pudding on when this came out, right there. November 3rd, 1993. November 3rd, 1993, the card that's tied to that is the 4 Diamonds card. And the 4 Diamonds card, let me just go and be really transparent. Here it is, the 4 Diamonds in consecutive orders. It's the 30th card in the deck. And that's tied to the element zinc. And if you've seen my decode on Angel Falls, talking about the fallen angels, how we all got here, it's tied to zinc in 65. But there it is. Of all cards, of all days, it's tied to the 4 Diamonds, and this is the box. You can make a box around here. 4 Diamonds, and of course, November 3rd can also be written 311 or 113, and it's the 30th prime number. 30th prime number, 30th card, tied to that date. You see how all this is tied, and we know demiurge equals 30. That's why the number 42 is chosen, because man's being used. I showed the 4 Diamonds card tied to the founder of Jack in the Box, and when that American fast food restaurant was founded, February 21st, 1951, this is the card of February 21st, 1951. It's the same card as the day that Douglas Adams made the statement that it was just a joke, that he chose 42. Well, of course it wasn't. The joke's on us, because life is a joke. And the architect is a freaking comedian, which is probably laughing right now at all of us. But what do you think the odds are that the fast food restaurant Jack in the Box is got the same card as the day that Douglas Adams came out and said it has nothing to do with all this stuff, it was because I just thought 42 is going to do? Yeah, okay, sure. Well, now, this clearly should tell you that man is being used, and 42 is tied to the architect, the demiurge that runs this reality. Jackie Robinson, his life wasn't his own. Tied to the rabbit card again, 30th card, rabbit card, Alice followed the rabbit. See how all these synchronize, all these stories. It was Alice real? Was there really an Alice? Can we prove that there was really an Alice? No, we cannot. Can you prove there was really a Jesus? No, you cannot. Yet the stories synchronize, and they're all in bed together.